I'm going to start again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy holidays. I wanted to come and make a video to share again. I come just to give people another outlet, another way to perceive something, to think outside of the box, because we have been programmed to do things a certain way. We have not been allowed to think for self. And coronavirus has taught me so much about myself. And knowing more about myself, I was able to focus on the difference outside of myself. And today I wanted to talk about power because I've experienced this pretty much all of my life. People in power, people with positions, and I've always noticed that people use the power to overpower people. As a young child, I even noticed that, and as I grew up to be an adult, I really realized it more, and I definitely was against it, and I had that rebellious spirit that I would, you know, hold people accountable, and I would speak that raw truth to people about their behavior, and I think that's why a lot of people don't care for me because I speak the truth. And the truth is the way, a lot of people say they're looking for honesty. And so when you're honest, they don't like it. But I mean, if you lie, they don't like that either. So both of them you don't like. You don't like people to lie to you. And you don't like people to tell you the truth. But I think the truth is the best way because when people speak the truth, then you know you can trust them. But in my experience with power, um, with this coronavirus pandemic, I took my power back. And today I came to a realization because I wrestled with did I make the right choices during all of this coronavirus? Because all of the choices that I made in taking power away from something outside of myself, it had me alone in this journey. But I'm more powerful. I've learned more about myself. With my job, no one has the authority on a job because they're the boss to overpower you. A job is supposed to empower people. I mean, not just a job, everyone is supposed to empower another person because there's only two things that you can do with power. You can either overpower or you can empower. And I think this is why the world is the way it is because people want to overpower people so that they can have more. But power is within. And so, with me taking my power back, telling them that I will not put a mask on because I am not sick. And if it meant losing my job, then it told the job, you don't have power over me to make me feel like I need you. You get what I'm saying? I need me. And then there is a force that protects us. There is a force that runs all of this and controls all of this. You see, not the job. And with the apartment complex, the government system is playing the trickery of the mind games. Don't pay, late and charge, and this and that. And so when people don't do it, they come back and then they wanted to ask for all of it at one time. And then when people didn't have it, they want to use that overpowering. If you don't give it to me, then you won't have anywhere to live. Again, Dav took our power back. Well, then I will go. And like I said, my journey has been very challenging, but it has made me more powerful because I didn't give it to someone outside of myself. We are supposed to share power. In the Bible, it says iron sharpens iron. And so if you're trying to overpower me, then you want to have me bend to your will. And that weakens me and my life living here. So this morning when I woke up, I listened to a video. I didn't really go into my groove that I normally do. And I thought I was going to wake up with a eerie feeling because I am on this journey by myself, learning more about me so that I can give back and help people be a better people, a person, and to make people think outside of the box. And so some of the things that came up was power and how it is used in your personal life or in a partnership. And again, I just spoke about that. When you're in a partnership, based on what I've experienced with this coronavirus, we are supposed to, whatever situation it is, partnership means more than one person. It could be your job. It could be your relationship, personal, friendship, children, grandchildren, romantic. If we are not empowering each other in a partnership, then someone is trying to overpower. Sometimes there may be times when we give a little bit more, but there should never be where someone has more power over another person, because what it means is they know what the person is weak at and they keep on infiltrating that pain. Now, if the person was empowered to accept that's where they're weak at, then the person wouldn't have power over you. But we don't want to share or experience our experience of weaknesses with others, because people always come for you where you're weak. But that's what you need them to do. Come to you where you're weak so you can know what you need to strengthen. You see what I'm saying? And so it shows you where they're weak at too, because if a person coming for you where you weak at, then you can see where they're strong at, and vice versa. So we have to learn how to know our strengths and know our weaknesses. And a lot of people, from my experience with all of this coronavirus, they are looking outside of themselves for someone to fix them, or they're trying to have a parasitic host relationship with someone. They're finding someone who is weaker than them, you understand, so that they can have power over them. And my thing is this here: if I'm drawn or attracted to someone who is weak, that's just daft. I was blessed with a heart that is very, very big, and I have a lot of sympathy and empathy. What I ain't going to do is take advantage of the person. You see, that's a person who has morals, values, and ethics. I know this is their weakness. See, I have a discerning. I got a calling on my life. I got a way from this that I'm blessed with to understand and to discern and to feel certain type of things inside of me. I don't use that to overpower people. I use it to empower people. But again, people don't want to let you in, so it's kind of hard, without giving too much of yourself. And that's what I found myself doing, giving too much of myself to help someone else. And you can only help people as much as they let you help them. And I don't want to force myself onto anyone. I want it to be equal reciprocity. I want to be with people who want to grow and evolve. People who want to look in the mirror. And sometimes it's going to require for humility. And a lot of people don't want to humble themselves and learn from another person, because, again, it's going to show where they're weak. But then if you allow somebody to show you where you're weak, that's where you can become strong. Another thing that I wrote down was power within, and how it's used in a healthy way is your financial worth and value. We don't understand the more powerful we are within, it's how we can give back to someone else, and that shows our worth and our value. But if we take the power that we have and we try to manipulate somebody else with the power, you have no value and you have no worth. You are selfish. You see what I'm saying? And you're trying to gain more by stepping on someone to get where you're going, instead of trying to help someone, because there is enough in this world for everyone to have equal. No one has to hurt anyone to get anywhere. So if everyone is empowered, this is how the world can be a better place. But we are so consumed with selfish I, me. We cannot see if it was we, it would be such a better place if we would empower everyone that comes into our life. If we would allow everyone who comes into our life to show us our weaknesses and our strengths, this world could be a better place. Okay, people teach us our weakness and strengths if we are focused on self, and they in turn show others. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself. If we would just open up to look within ourselves, look at the man in the mirror, we can learn so much. I've learned so much about myself. I've seen parasitic relationships. I don't want that. I don't want to be a hoax. I don't want to be a parasite. I want to be iron sharpening iron. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to overpower anybody. I want to empower. And that's all I've ever done, was empower people. But I had to work on that resentment that was on my heart, that no one, when I was small, was trying to empower me. They were trying to overpower me, but I still was using my power, but in an aggressive way. So that was one of the things that I learned during this coronavirus, that I had to humble my spirit in order for people to receive the power that I had within, and that I wasn't coming from a place that was harsh. Okay? Places we're in can show us that we are in a place of thriving or barely striving. Sometimes we're in environments that blocks us from thriving, but we are too blinded by the things of the world and accumulating to see that we're not thriving, that we struggling to have the things of the world. And we shouldn't have to struggle to do anything, because everything in this world is free, and we're free to be. But the psychological damage that has been done, fight to get what you want, hurt someone to get where you're going, is in the unconscious mind. We don't have to hurt anybody. If we would be open, honest, and vulnerable with people, everybody could grow and evolve. But a lot of people don't want to show their vulnerable side, because people have tendency to infiltrate you in the wrong way. But this is why we have to be empowered and open up our minds, open up our hearts to renew our spirits, to see the strengths and weakness that we have within, because everyone has it. No one is exempt from being weak in a certain area in their lives. Because if you didn't have weaknesses, there would be no reason for you to be here, because we're here to live, learn, and to grow and evolve to be a better person. Okay, things we have or strive to accumulate can weigh a person down, because everything we have is not what we need to be our best self. We are getting so caught up in the things till we're consumed with getting things and not making sure this person has what they need, the bare necessities. But we're so caught up in accumulate. And so this is how we get weighed down. And now we got all of these things. But when we're looking outside of ourselves, we see unhappiness, because we so consumed with the things. And we have to stop being caught up with the things, because they're just that. I don't want to have everything under the sun, from the rooter to the tutor, and look across there and see somebody homeless, see somebody hungry, see somebody with raggedy shoes on. I can't do that. That's selfish. And so I want to empower this person. You get what I'm saying? I want them to be where I am. That's just daft. I don't know, about anybody else. I want everybody to have the same thing. I want everyone to be happy. And we have to get to the place where we empower other people, where they can find their joy, they can find their peace. Freedom is imperative in order to grow and evolve, because anyone, anything, anywhere blocking it can stagnate your progress of growth. If we're not free to be, then we're allowing someone to block us energetically. I should be free to speak. I should be free to love. I just should be free to open up my mind and think outside of the box, whether someone thinks it's crazy, someone does not like it. Everyone should be free to be, because this is how you're going to grow. This is how you're going to make mistakes. This is how you're going to learn from the mistakes. This is how you're going to know people who are good for you and people who are not good for you. But when we try to put everybody in one stagnant place, and to block the logic in the schools and in the churches and in our family pathology bloodlines, we're not allowing a person to be free to be. We're programming them and taking the power from them, because nobody is promised to live forever, and no one knows when they're going to die. So we should be empowering each other as much as we can, and the people that we have in our lives who come into your life. To empower someone else, you have to teach them to love self, because that's where the power is. When you love yourself, you will not allow anybody to treat you less than love. And nobody's teaching anybody to love self. We're being taught to love things outside of ourselves, people outside of ourselves, places outside of ourselves. And we neglect self. And we have to reprogram the mind, the heart, and the spirit. We have to empower that. my way of thinking. I need to be free to think. I need to be free to love whoever I love and not judge the exterior, but judge the interior, because what comes out of the mouth speaketh the heart. We have been programmed to go against each other and to argue about who is right and who is wrong, and that's what blocks iron sharpening iron and using power to empower instead of overpower. See, this program, this government system, and the powers that be, they got us going against each other while they're at the top sharpening each other on how to take our power away from us. We have to empower each other. We cannot, everyone is in a rush to get somewhere before someone else. And this is why it is not working. You're going to move accordingly. Take people as you're going. As you're learning, teach it. There's no such thing as, I'm going to learn it all, I'm going to get to the top, and then I'm going to tell you. No, as you're learning, teach it to someone else so that they can grow and evolve, and everybody can move up the ladder pretty much the same time. We have to empower one another. Iron sharpens iron, and we have to stop trying to take other people's power. We need each other. That's one of the things that I realized the most. I cannot go through this life journey without someone in my life. But what I did not want to do was go through this journey allowing someone to overpower me, because I need them. And I don't want to overpower anybody with my strengths, because I know that's their weakness. We have to get out of that psychological bondage of fight or flight. And we have to be open and vulnerable. I need someone. I cannot do this by myself. This journey has been very challenging for me. Very. But I have empowered myself. And I do want to open up my mind, my heart, and my spirit. But right now I'm in a vulnerable space where I really need someone. And so I'm very mindful who I allow in my space. You get what I'm saying? Because people see where you're weak. And when you need somebody, life is teaching me. I had to lose in order to win again. And so people don't look at that as a good thing. They look at that as a bad thing, that she's trying to be a leech and she's trying to ride someone's tailcoat. But you have to reprogram the mind and start all over. We were taught so many things that were not empowering. So I had to lose all of that. So in losing all of that, to gain your power, you got to lose your job when they're not treating you right. You got to let this apartment complex go if they're not treating you fair, just. You get what I'm saying? You have to lose in order to win again. You have to get your power back, you got to overpower people who's trying to overpower you. And let them know everybody should be equal in power. No one should have any more power than the next person. And again, DAP always says, people only do what we allow them to do. And when we allow the person to do something, it's because we need something from them or we want something that they have. See, I don't want nothing that nobody don't want to give me. And that's how I always was. I want what is genuinely from the heart. And this is why I'm on this journey by myself, because I can feel all of that. I know fake and phony a mile away. This discernment that I have is nothing nice. All I got to do is pay attention and listen. And you will know where people are coming from. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to empower. And this is what I'm doing. I say to myself all the time, I want to be a motivational, inspirational speaker. Opening the minds of the masses. Whatever it takes, if I have to suffer to show people, I'm going to be okay. People would never imagine what I'm going through. They would never imagine it. But again, this is how you give back. You see, I'm not going to sit here and have the pity party, poor Daphne. I'm going to empower someone based on what I have learned during this journey of struggling to come back up to my authentic self. Because people have taken my power from me. And now I have my power back. And I'm going to need someone to help me. You get what I'm saying? Not hurt me. And this is what we have to get out of. Trying to overpower and empower people when we can. Stop being this hoax and parasitic in relationships. I mean all types of relationship are parasitic. Relationships should be reciprocal, give and take. And that is one of my prayers. I want someone who wants to give and take. Learn from me, and I learn from them. Love me like I love you. You get what I'm saying? Equal flow of back and forth. Iron sharpening iron. I'm empowering you. You're empowering me. And it's going to require for humility for that to work. It cannot work without it. There cannot be stubborn. There cannot be arrogance. There cannot be big egos. There has to be humility in order for us to empower each other. And I think this is where we are in this world. The egos are in the way of us evolving and growing. But the ego is in the way, like they say, ego is edging God out because of the disconnect from the Holy Spirit. Once you open up your heart and you realize that none of this is because of me, and all of this is because of grace and mercy and a higher power, a higher force that I have no control over, because I'm only going with the flow of life. And see, people don't want to get to know you. People, I can meet someone who is a millionaire and he will think that I'm trying to be a gold digger. But life has brought me into this person's life. Or I could be the millionaire and it could be somebody who ain't got it. And life made us come across each other. But see, the ego gonna say they want me for my money. But no one is not gonna look at it as life lessons. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything happens according to the will, the purpose of us coming here. And we don't know who we're gonna meet and when we're gonna meet them and how we're gonna meet them. But we have been programmed to look at the exterior and never get to know what's going on the inside of a person. So we have to get out of that and start empowering one another and loving each other and opening up our minds and hearts to learn, grow, and evolve so that we can empower each other. Get rid of the ego, because that is the one thing that hurts us very, very bad, the ego. And it is hard to learn to let the ego go. It is. Because the ego thinks it knows everything and it don't know shit. It don't. Higher mind, the love for one another is the thing that's going to lead us in the right direction. And that's what I got today. And I hope y'all having a wonderful day today. I don't have much going on over here with me, but I'm alive. And so I'm glad to be in a good spirit and a good space to be able to come and give this powerful message. I want to empower you, honey. Let this sizzle in your spirit. It's something to think about. We're going to have to do work and have faith that things can change. And if we want more, we're going to have to do more. Too much is gain, much will be required. And sometimes we're going to have to do something that we've never done in order to get something that we never had. And so we want everybody to be empowered and not anybody overpowering anyone. I don't care if you are the boss, the supervisor, the CEO, the governor, the president. You're supposed to be empowering someone else. Okay? Because knowledge is supposed to be spread, honey. Okay? Love is the answer. Who cares what the question is? That's what I got. And I'm going to get on out of here. And y'all enjoy your day and love on each other and empower each other. That's the key. Empower each other. I'm going to get on out of here, people.